So I ended up saving the best for last. These are tamales en hoja de plátano, which happen to be my favorite. So I'm going to show you how I make the masa because it is a little different. For this batch, I'm using 10 pounds of masa to make tortilla, and you can usually find this masa at your local tortilleria. For every pound of masa, you're going to need half a pound of lard. So if I'm using 10 pounds of masa, obviously it is 5 pounds of lard. Technique doesn't change though. You're also going to whip up that lard to make sure your tamales are nice and fluffy. And guys, don't forget to season up your masa. Just because you have a nice, moist, fluffy tamal doesn't mean it's going to be unseasoned. Add some salt, add some chicken bouillon. If you think it's perfect in salt, trust me, add more salt because it's going to need it. You're going to add your pork broth or your chicken broth into your masa. It's nice and spreadable like this. If you're making the red pork tamales, make sure you add some of that red sauce into the masa so it can be colorful and flavorful. And for the green one, same concept, just add your green sauce. May not change the color, but it is going to give it more flavor. Once it's nice and smooth, then you're ready to start prepping all of your banana leaves because it's time to make lots of tamales. It's finally tamale season, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the green tamales. So we're going to begin by cooking and shredding the chicken, and do not throw away the broth from your chicken because you're going to need that. In the same broth that you use to cook your chicken, you're going to cook your tomatillos, your serranos, and your jalapeños. If you like your sauce to look a little bit more on the green side, you can also add chile pasilla, but my store didn't have any. Anyways, you're going to add everything to your blender along with a handful of cilantro, some oregano, garlic, onion, salt. You're also going to add some chicken bouillon, cumin, and thyme. And we're going to blend everything with the same chicken broth. That's going to be your secret. Do not tell anyone. In the meantime, while your sauce is blending, you're going to have your pot or pan, add some oil, chop up some cebollas in there, and then you're going to fry those mother truckers up. Once your sauce is ready, you're going to pour the sauce into the oil, make a huge mess everywhere. But trust me, this is a step you don't want to miss. Add your chicken, wait until it comes to a light simmer, and it's ready. You tired of having to ask for a side of Vaseline to swallow up your tamales during the holidays? Well, say no more, because we're about to make one of the most fluffiest and moist tamales you've ever had. We're going to begin by whipping 1.5 pounds of lard with 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Also going to use equal parts of masa preparada for tamales and then Maseca for tamales. Adding the cold whipped lard into the Maseca and then a couple of ice cubes in here is going to keep the lard super cold. That way, whenever your tamales are steaming, they're going to be moist. Which is also going to allow you to add more pork broth into the masa, making your masa more flavorful and more moist. Add a little bit of that red sauce that we just made to add color and more flavor. I like the consistency of my masa to be nice and spreadable. Spread a thin layer of masa only to the middle part of your leaf, and then you're going to add your filling in there, close it up in half, and then roll it. Stack up all your tamales into your steamer, then you're going to add more of your extra leaves on top, a little damp towel, and then you're going to steam this for no more than 1 hour and 30 minutes. When your tamales first come out of the steamer, they're super soft, and people may confuse them as being raw. But if you open it and nothing sticks to your leaves, then it's ready. But they are piping hot. But they're also super soft and moist, which is all that matters. All right, guys, now it's time for us to make the spicy pork filling for the red tamales. We're gonna need a couple of pork nalgas. Boil them with all the ingredients I'm gonna list on the screen for about 2 hours until the meat is nice and tender. The pork broth is gonna be our main key ingredient here, okay? So do not throw that away. You're gonna save it and you're gonna use it to rehydrate your chiles. And you put everything into your blender along with all the ingredients I'm gonna list on the screen and about 1 tablespoon or 2 of consomme de jitomate. In a separate pot, you're gonna have a little bit of oil. You're gonna start frying up some onions. That way, when your sauce is ready, you're gonna fry it up because this is gonna bring more flavor to your sauce. You're gonna add your shredded pork and a little bit more of that pork broth depending on how thick you want your sauce. Some people like adding vegetables to their pork, others don't. I do because it makes more tamales. I'm gonna mix some veggies in there, let this come to a light simmer, and the meat is ready for you to start wrapping some tamales. There you have it. Hope you like this recipe. Bye. We're making the green tamales. Finally, tamale season is here. We're gonna begin by making the masa, which is the most important part of a tamal. I like to use equal parts of masa preparada and the Maseca for tamales. I mix everything together into a big bowl. In the meantime, we're going to whip up our lard. And trust me, you want to whip up the lard because this is going to make your tamal super, super fluffy. Now we're going to add the lard into the bowl with the masa, add about 2 cups of ice, and you're going to mix until your shoulders fall off. Once the dough begins to look like crumble, you're going to add your chicken or pork broth into the masa, and then you're going to mix. At this point, I can still grab the masa and make little balls. It's not ready. I'm going to add more stuff to it. I wanted to shred up some zucchini and then cut up some spinach and then incorporate it into the masa because I wanted to see how my tamal would come out. 10 out of freaking 10 recommend this. Also, do not forget to add some of the green broth of your chicken for a nice seasoned dough and season up that dough with some salt. The consistency of the masa should be soft and easy spreadable onto the leaf. And only put it in the middle part of the leaf, that way you don't waste dough. Add your chicken, Monterey Jack cheese, some rajas, close up your tamal, and then this is what it looks like. I stack all my tamales onto the steamer and then add some extra leaves on top and then a damp towel, cover it up and let this cook for an hour and a half. And there you have it, guys. Hope you like this recipe. Bye!